researchers and I found more than 400. Happy that so many news sources had reached out to me, in January 1999, I began working on a revised edition, interviewing individuals such as Frank's longtime valet, George Jacobs, with whom I conducted 3 interviews. Additionally, I went back to the tapes of interviews from years ago and extracted new material from them. However, before that edition, which would have been issued in paperback, had a chance to see the light of day, my publisher went out of business. Therefore, other than the hardcover edition from 1998, this book has not been available since that time. Now, 18 years later, I am proud to finally bring forth a fully revised and updated edition of Sinatra, Behind the Legend, published to coincide with what would have been Frank Sinatra's centenary birthday. J. Randy Taraborrelli, Summer 2015. Preface. I think I would like to be remembered as a man who brought an innovation to popular singing, a peculiar, unique fashion that I wish one of these days somebody would learn to do so it doesn't die where it is. I would like to be remembered as a man who had a wonderful time living his life and who had good friends, a fine family, and I don't think I could ask for anything more than that, actually. I think that would do it. Frank Sinatra to Walter Cronkite, November 16, 1965. Frank Sinatra was like a flawed diamond, brilliant on the surface, imperfect beneath. Of course, it was those flaws, those hidden complexities that made him human, and in many ways defined his persona. If one really wants to understand Frank, though, one must travel from Lower Manhattan across the Hudson River to Hoboken, New Jersey, where Sinatra is a hometown hero. Everyone in Hoboken seems to know someone who knew someone else who once knew Frank or his family. Every Italian bartender, delicatessen owner, dry cleaner, pizzeria worker, and thrift store proprietor over the age of 50 seems to have a good Sinatra story, a juicy Sinatra rumor, or an inconsequential Sinatra anecdote about that time he or she ran into the man himself and rubbed shoulders with greatness. In Hoboken, the Sinatra tales flow freely. Frank Sinatra was the most famous person who ever came from Hoboken. They still love him there, and they're still proud of him. One can see it in their eyes when they speak of him, when they pull from their wallets a dog-eared photograph they took at Frankie's brilliant concert at the Latin Casino in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or when they play that special Sinatra tune on the bar's jukebox, the one they danced to at their wedding, and that their own children and grandchildren will dance to at theirs, the one that still brings tears to their eyes. When in Hoboken, a city whose Park Avenue Library has a glass-encased second-floor shrine to Sinatra filled with an impressive trove of memorabilia, a Sinatra biographer has to sift through the legends to find the real facts of his life. There are endless stories that have been repeated so often, handed down from one generation to another, that today no one can even remember whence they originated, let alone whether or not they're accurate. All of it, the truth, the legends, says something about the endurance of Frank Sinatra and the impact he had on not only the people of Hoboken, but on our culture as a whole. One thing is certain. There is nobody as popular, as respected, and as adored as the man the people of Hoboken will forever lovingly refer to as Frankie. Part 1. Beginnings. L'America. In the late 1800s, Hoboken, New Jersey, a former resort area for the New York wealthy, was a run-down and destitute city. However, it was also a place of expectation and promise for many ambitious newcomers. With hope in their hearts, if not money in their pockets, they had come to the New World on crowded, rat-infested passenger liners and disease-ridden cargo ships. The Dutch, Swedes, Finns, English, Irish, and Scottish were all represented before 1700. The Germans and